we know that insulin disrupts ovulation. So either it delays ovulation to the point where a woman ovulates on cycle day 16, 18, 20 instead of the earlier part of her cycle. That's going to throw off, either it's going to make you have a much shorter luteal phase, or if you still have a long luteal phase, now you have like a 30, 34-day cycle, which theoretically isn't terrible, right? Like on the surface, that's okay. But if the reason that you're having a 30, 34-day cycle is not your natural rhythm, it's actually caused by insulin resistance, it's going to have a huge impact on whether or not you're going to be able to get pregnant. So we see this most in PCOS women. We also know there's a connection of too much insulin causing testosterone production, which then also causes anovulation. And I saw someone in the chat saying insulin resistance is also going to affect breast milk production, which is absolutely true. So insulin resistance is really a big component on the female side. What's less talked about and less heard is also the impact on the male side. So insulin resistance in men, theoretically, you're like, oh, maybe I should cause insulin resistance because it ups the testosterone. No, bad idea, because A, testosterone really is a Goldilocks hormone. Too much is not good for fertility. Too little is not good for fertility. So you really need it in this tight range. So that's number A. B, we really are going to create, even if your sperm look completely healthy on a semen analysis, you can still have underlying factors that have to do with insulin resistance that are going to make it more likely for your partner to go through pregnancy losses. And they've done studies where they have said, hey, let's test a bunch of these guys in couples that have had recurrent pregnancy loss, and higher numbers of them had insulin resistance. So like, what? Mind blown, because theoretically, like, their sperm look fine. They've even been told, a lot of them are like, oh no, my sperm are great. And they come to me and I'm like, no, I don't care what your sperm look like. If you have insulin resistance, high blood sugar, high hemoglobin A1C, I'm sorry, we know statistically that there is an impact on your partner, your woman, being able to carry to term. So there's an impact that isn't even connected to sperm. Somehow it's impacting, like we just don't know what to look for in the sperm. That's my theory, but um, I'm waiting to see the research on that. But I think at least the dots are starting to be connected, where recurrent pregnancy loss is not just a female thing, and taking it out of that and being like, hey, this is a partnership issue. It's not just her. She didn't do anything wrong. This is not her fault, right? Like, all of those things have always been true, but now there's evidence that there's stuff that we could catch in your blood work that costs literally $10. Like, every doctor should be testing guys. I don't care how healthy the sperm look. There should be tests for guys that are considered important and baseline before they go and fertilize an egg. I think phthalates are definitely at the top of the list. They're essentially in everything marked fragrance. So you will never see phthalate on an ingredient label. It'll always say fragrance. So avoid those things. Candles, those like plug-in things, I forget what they're called. I haven't seen one in a really long time. Yes. Yes. Yeah, all of the stuff that you think is making your home smell good probably has phthalates in it. And those are pretty proliferative, right? Like, everyone wants to smell good. Everyone wants their home to smell good. Like, that's a really common thing. So if you are like, oh crap, that's me, the easy alternative is essential oils. So you want to get some pure essential oils. You can put them in a little bit of water and then just into a diffuser. Um, and I have also been questioning the diffusers because they have plastic. And I'm like, well, doesn't that heat up? And BPA going into the air. So I found this like thing that you can just put in the bottle of your essential oil, no water, no plastic, like it's just diffusing from the glass. So I'm like, yeah, dude, let's get rid of this plastic because like I don't know for sure, but my thought is like I don't care if the outside is ceramic. It's really beautiful. It looks great, but the inside is still plastic. So we were going to toxins. So BPA, BPS, BPF, those are the variants of bisphenol compounds that are essentially pretty prevalent in plastic. The linings or coatings on the nonstick pans are PFOAs, Teflon. But even some of the like non-toxic products are very questionable. So really thinking about like, do I want to be exposed to this stuff that has the potential, even though it's labeled green, I am very wary of all of those types of non-stick coatings. I haven't found one that I feel super comfortable about. So I'm like, just use cast iron, stainless steel, and there's specific kind of stainless steel that you want to get. But like stuff that's not coated, and sure, that makes your life a little bit harder, but in the long run, A, that pan is going to survive forever, but B, like you can scrub it. It's not that big of a deal.